So it was my dad. He read a story about John and his whole life story about how he never played high school football and went and played pro. And we both liked that. We thought it was pretty inspiring, so we decided to work out with him, see what he could do with me, and let him work me out.
Actually, I've followed John's story ever since he was up at the University of Utah. I also graduated from Hunter High School, so I followed him when he made it into the NFL, and then when he opened up about 4 years ago, my sons were becoming of age to start needing training, so we looked into it, and my oldest has been training with John now for 3.5 years.
Dakota's been coming to me since he was in 8th grade. One of my first clients that I've ever seen. He came to me as a tall, lanky, he weighed 100 pounds. You know, he weighed not a pound over 100 pounds, and now he's weighing 185 pounds. And you know, this is one of my favorite kids that I've ever trained, because when I got him, he didn't scream athleticism. He was awkward, he was extremely weak. You know, he was a lot weaker than what he should have been and what his friends were at the same time, and was a kid that just kept showing up.
The challenge that when I first presented to John with my oldest was he needed to be stronger, he needed to be more explosive, he needed to be able to jump, and in that time he went from basically 101 pounds weighing in at 190 now. He couldn't jump before. I mean, he could barely slide a credit card under his vertical. Now, as you'll see, he can jump up on a 56-inch box. So his vertical's gotten better. His strength is immeasurable, because he really before had a hard time even benching the bar, and now can get up over 200 pounds on a bench. So physically, he's gotten tremendously stronger.
Well, I started off weighing less than 100 pounds. Right now I weigh 188, and he's helped me so much, just improve my stature and my confidence, and he's always taught me to do my hardest, or else it's not even worth it.
He was a kid, I remember when he first came in 8th grade, we were putting him through the workouts. You know, he couldn't do one full push-up the right way, you know, and that sounds crazy to think of an 8th grade athlete not being able to do a push-up. It's more common than you think, but Dakota struggled. You know, he struggled in that weight room setting, and me and his father made a decision to let him train with the older kids when he was really should have been in the younger group. And he was training with you know, high school starters that were way stronger than him, and he was just this little kid trying to catch up, and we kind of just threw him in like to a new pack of wolves, and it was sink or swim for him.
I wanted to make sure that John's goals lined up with what I wanted my son to also to achieve, and I've seen that.
A lot of people would have never believed that Dakota was going to be a starter and a main contributor on his high school basketball team. You know, if you would have asked the head coach in 8th grade, he would have said no way, no how.
So he got cut as a freshman. Going into his sophomore tryouts, his high school coaches actually said he was on the bubble, outside looking in. They would give him his best look and see where it ended up. After tryouts, his coaches were amazed at how much progress he'd made. He was here with John 4 times a week. He'd really, you know, put forth the effort. He'd gained, about 40 pounds that year, and you know, just really committed. Now here he is making, playing varsity basketball at a 5A school, which 4 years ago probably wasn't even on the radar for his coaches. So that kind of dedication to put himself in that situation is a testament to John and what he's done.
4 full years of showing up every single day, doing what I ask, you know, not only doing the work in the weight room, but going home and eating as much as he could, eating the foods that I told him to eat. He put on 85 pounds, and you know, now he's an athletic kid. He's going to be the starting center on Riverton High basketball team, and a kid that has a chance to really make some noise this year in high school basketball. So his transformation is one of my favorite stories.
people that are willing to try their hardest, they'll come here and John will push them and they'll definitely bring their best.
I remember there was a lot of tears. There was a lot of workouts where I thought I almost pushed him too hard. He was laying there, tears coming out of his eyes. We were making him pull sleds and drag sleds that were way too heavy. But the plan that I came up with was that I had to make this kid believe in himself somehow, some way.
I would say he has had a mental advantage on the court because he's accomplished things that other kids his age probably haven't even tried. So that gives him, I think, a leg up. A few years back, he ran a race that most kids his age don't run. John wasn't happy that he ran it, but he still ran it, and he finished it. So that was more mental strength than anything else.
I pushed when I knew I had to push. I pulled back when I knew I had to pull back. And his mental toughness now is a huge transformation. Like I said, he's going to be a starter on his basketball team. And he believes in himself, which, number one is most important. But not only that, his teammates and his friends have seen the work that he's put in, and they have faith in Dakota.
John has created a hot spot for athletes. He has 10, 11, 12-year-olds now training. There's college athletes that come back after their season that train. He has professional athletes that train. And the exciting thing is they train together. You could come to a session and have a 11-year-old training right next to an MLB player. And that's kind of exciting for those kids because that's what they want to achieve. They see that and that's their goal.
And it took an extremely long time to do. It wasn't a 6-month thing. It wasn't a year thing. In fact, he's just now stepping into that athlete that me and his father knew that he could be. And, he's a senior in high school now. So 4 full years of just showing up, eating what he was supposed to eat, training hard like he was supposed to train, and never quitting. And so I think with Dakota, the one takeaway message really is he didn't quit. And there was a lot of kids that would have stopped doing what he had to do to get there. But he never did, and his life will forever change because of it.
I think it's worth it. If you're willing to put in the effort, then you should sign up and do your hardest, and you'll become one of the best products you can be.